The why behind this crazy goal is to see if I can find contentment. Unhitched from this consumeristic madness. It seems like every single time you get on any form of social media, you are instantly tempted to purchase something. It's just so easy to click on the link, pick your size, add to cart, and you see something else that pops up that you're being tempted to buy that you just cannot live without. Before you know it, you've got $300, $500 worth of things in your cart. Countless hours of scrolling that you just wasted on something that you didn't even really need in the first place. Only to plop back down on the couch, open your phone up, and see something else that you didn't know that you needed, you now need. Not to mention, if you don't have the money, you are putting it on a credit card more than likely, or you are sucking the life out of your bank account. For me, this project is to find the joy in limitations. We are a land of no limits. The biblical fruit of patience is non-existent these days. We don't have to wait. If we want it, even if we don't have the money, again, we just throw it on the credit card and make minimum payments later. They're putting things on it that they do not need and they cannot afford. We get this sort of high whenever we've clicked on a link and it's going in our cart, it's purchased, we know it's coming. It truly is a high, and I have been there so many times. If we want it, we get it, no matter the negative results on our finances, on our stress, our anxiety, on our family, on our marriage. A recent public study showed that of those who say money has negative impacts on their health, nearly half said being in debt is their number one issue. People with debt are 3 times as likely to have depression, anxiety, and stress from being worried. And when it comes to the decline in patience, it is only worsening by the day. When we have whatever we want, whenever we want, at the click of a button, just a few days, this is only adding to the problem. We have limitless access to anything and everything we could ever want. And if we can't afford it, we're gonna buy it. And it's just completely gotten out of hand. Modern conveniences are a gift used in a healthy way. They are going to make our lives easier. I don't know if you feel this way, but it's feeling very obsessive. Kind of where I just felt it one day on social media. I'm like, wow, I love that dress. And at one point I woke up at 4 a.m. and was scrolling on Pinterest and snapshotting dresses that I loved, that I was like, oh, I'll get these in the morning. And that was 4 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. I'm trying to distract my mind. And I understand companies have to make money and this is their livelihood. I don't think there's anything wrong with buying a cute outfit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I believe we have started to make consumerism a god in our lives. We would rather spend time scrolling on our phone looking for the next cute outfit because nothing in our closet is satisfying us. So this is more so just getting down to the root of the problem. This is just a journey that's going to show me a lot of things that I need to grow in, things that maybe I need to step back from. It's never going to fill the void of longing that we are somehow trying to fill. It starts with us. If our children see us scrolling all the time, constantly buying things and not telling our flesh no, and letting our children pick out whatever toy every single time they go to the store, adding to the problem. So when they become adults, they're not going to know how to tell themselves no. So we have to learn how to tell ourselves no. There's so many reasons why I am attempting this, but I think we need to lean into intentionality and not just instantly buy it in that moment and just think through it a little bit. See it, we want it, we get it. I think we all just need to step back, not giving ourselves everything we want. And why do we feel like we have nothing in our closet? Like, why don't we love our home? God has blessed us with a beautiful home, and all we can do is look at the home on social media that is just that much better or prettier. We are becoming completely dissatisfied and discontent with what we have. We live in America. We are in one of the most blessed countries in the world. At the end of the day, need food, water, roof over our head. Like, we don't need all of the things that we think that we need. This is a spiritual thing too. Just leaning into Christ whenever I am feeling like, oh, I need that, or I'm not going to be happy without that, and just saying no to materialism. 1 John 2:15 says, "Do not love the things of this world. If anyone loves the world, the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and the pride of life, is not from the Father, but is from the world. The world is passing away along with its desires. But whoever does the will of Yahweh abides forever." I've had many months of no-spend months where I hunker down, buy my necessities, see how little I can spend. And we've had months where we are like, okay, we're gonna spend $100 this month on eating out. Let's see if we can do it. That may be normal for you, but for us, we like to eat out. It's just a fun challenge. So all that to say, we've gone through many months of no spending months, little challenges, but this is kind of a dream challenge. I didn't want to wait till the new year. It was mid-May and I was like, okay, I kind of want to do this. And I kind of feel crazy posting this video because I don't know that I can do it, but I'm gonna try. We'll see. The dream would be a year. I don't know. I'm again freaking out a little bit that I've even signed up to do this, but the fun thing is that only a couple of people know. I'm not gonna put it out there right away. So we'll see. Today is June 2nd, 2024. I started the no spend yesterday. In this no spend project, the things that I can purchase are food, of course, eating out, groceries. We do enjoy eating out, so that is just not something I want to pull out of our lives right now. Necessities. Necessities are things like soap and toilet paper and paper towels. There are tools that I know I'm gonna get judged really hard for. Number one, a one-time house cleaner per month, just because we kind of have our hands in a little bit of everything, and this just kind of gives us some breathing room to not have to worry about, oh, we gotta go like scrub the toilets. And don't get me wrong, I love doing those things, but it is nice having that person come in and clean our house. Everyone has their own preferences. We always say someone may spend a lot on travel, but they may come home and spend nothing on eating out. For us, that just kind of gives us a little bit of a break. And then the second thing is my lashes. That is something that I don't want to give up. It cuts my morning getting ready time down, so I can get out the door. Yeah, I would survive without them, but it is something that makes my life a little bit easier. So for me, those are kind of going to be the two things that are just going to make our lives just a tad easier. The next thing on my list is adventure. This might look like getting tickets for our local. That to me is an adventure. That is something that's not buying an item to put in your home. It's an experience. It's just important to my family. If we want to go on a camping trip, take a small getaway, that is not something that we're trying to save money on in this no spend project. The next thing on my list is prints. I know this is kind of a weird one. I love printing off photos, especially after we've gone on a trip. I like to print photos. So, okay, the next thing on my list is gifts. My love language is gift giving. This is something that maybe in the early years, my husband and I did Dave Ramsey in the beginning of our marriage. We've been married 12 years now. That was something I probably would have done back in the day. It's just been like, hey, we're doing this, we're trying to pay off debt. I probably would have said, we're not gonna do gifts right now, but we're just kind of in a season of life where that's just something that we like to do for people. So that is just not something I wanna give up. This might look like a baby shower, a birthday, or buying someone's meal. Our hearts are in the realm of giving. It's just a non-negotiable because we do love this. And this journey is more so about an internal reflection of myself and material items. I'm not trying to not spend any money. This is me trying to look deep into materialism, not experiences or gifts or whatever. This is, what am I buying? What am I not telling my flesh no to? So I am trying to reevaluate my life and my spending in the sense of items. And the last thing on this list is, okay, we're going on 2 vacations. One will be at the beach, and then another one is a big camping trip we take every year called Sukkot. And there's always just the cutest stuff. I am giving myself permission to get one thing at the beach, like a one thing only. That may be normal for some people, but that is kind of hard for me. And same goes for our second trip. I'm allowing myself one thing at the beach and one thing at camp. So let's get to the things that I cannot purchase. Number 1 is clothing. I cannot buy any clothing, no matter how cute. I've already been very tempted and we're on day 2. I cannot buy shoes of any sort. Next on my list is accessory, jewelry, or journals, like hair clippies, scrunchies. The next thing on my list is purses or handbags. Next on my list is home decor. This one is going to be extremely hard because I am a person who loves an aesthetically pleasing home. Home decor and clothing probably are going to be my struggle. I'm not letting myself get hair appointments or nail appointments. No perfume, no hair products. The only thing I'm allowing myself to buy is shampoo and conditioner, just the necessities of washing my hair. Last thing on my list is no books. If I wish to have a book, I will go borrow from someone. What I would love to do is update monthly and go over what I have spent, how I did, how I'm feeling. I'm just anxious to see how I will be feeling. And the goal is 7 months, but if I can make it to a year, that would be incredible. I've never really gone past a month, and I get really tricky. So I just want to include you guys in the journey, the emotions. This is going to be a different kind of challenge for myself that I've never done before. I think it is worth being documented. The goal is an every month video. I'm gonna try and like journal certain things that pop up out of something that feels tempting, but I don't know. So that's the goal, monthly updates. We'll see how that goes. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope that this is something that excites you too, to sit and watch. This is something that is going to be very challenging. I hope that it intrigues you, and thank you for being here. Please subscribe and follow along. Okay, I am 1 month in, and I just wanted to go over how the month of June went. I followed all the rules, and the only thing I purchased was food and necessities. I have done 1 month challenges before, so it wasn't too hard, and it was fairly simple. We were also busy on vacation, doing things like that. Yes, month 1, I'm proud of it. I'm happy with it. This is just kind of a list of things that were tempting to me, whether that be through Instagram or going out and about. The first thing was Beechwood. I don't know about you guys, but I love linen. It's an exceptional piece of fabric. So there's this company called Beechwood, and their stuff is just beautiful. But at the end of the day, my clothes are fine. Third is new bedding. We had some friends come in from Texas. I wanted their room to be pretty and feel comfortable, but I felt like, well, I can justify new bedding because it's for our guests. But did not buy new bedding. We have enough blankets, pillows. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but it's fine, and they had a great time, and the bedding didn't really matter. The last thing on my list was we went to Seaside, Florida, and I did give myself the wiggle room to buy one thing on each of my vacations this year. I opted out on buying myself something just because I'm like, I'm month 1. I don't know, there was just nothing there that really felt like, oh, I have to have this. I ended up not buying myself anything. For now, I'm still going strong, and I don't need anything. I'm just so in this state of mind, like I don't need it. It's not gonna make me any happier. I need it, and I can live without it. So I opted out of buying anything on vacation for myself. I followed all the rules that were at the beginning of this video, and I only purchased food, necessities that we needed, and even our necessities I kept very, very, very low. Like, I think in the past sometimes I'd be like, oh, this is a necessity, when really there's a lot of things that aren't necessities that we can justify buying. So I even just narrowed down necessities. So I'm being very strict, and I really want to do this challenge the right way. I'm excited. So June was a success. All right, I made it through July. I hit all my goals for July. The only things that I purchased were necessities and food. And just so you guys know, every month I actually write down everything that I spend, and I know that people might think that's like a lot, but I don't feel like it's something that's negotiable in my life, because I believe when you see what's on paper, see your spending on paper, you're more likely to be hyper observant about what you're spending, which in return can get you way more ahead in your life. When I say I truly only spent necessities and food and like everything that was in the rules at the beginning video, I'm journaling all of this. So I wrote on my July page that I purchased necessities and food successfully. There were 2 things that like borderline could have been necessity: coloring book and some crayons for my daughter, but we have still yet to buy any toys. So that is 2 months in, no toys, nothing for her, no clothes, no nothing. So that is the only thing I bought for her since this challenge. Second thing that could have been borderline was a journal. Like I have like a spending, like a document journal. This is not my document journal, but I have a journal that I write all of my spending in, like exactly down to groceries, eating out, my gas, my subscriptions, necessities, things like that I would love to talk about in another video. But for now, that was something that, a spending journal, I already have one of those, but I actually bought another journal to document something else more specifically. So the spending journal
technically was not a necessity, but it was something that I want to document some of our spending in. So it falls in the borderline category. It's not necessarily a necessity, but it's also something I really did need for to track my finances. But as for this month, I successfully completed another month and I'm really happy about it. Something that did change is I don't have my lashes anymore. I did go ahead and do one more session this month because I already had the appointment booked, but the lashes are gone. And I know I mentioned in the previous video, the opener video, that I was gonna pay for house cleaning. That is also something I decided not to do. So that was just for the month of June. I just want you guys to know this challenge is very important and I'm taking it very seriously. And if there's ways for me to cut costs down, I'm gonna do that. So this challenge ultimately is for me to see what I can live without, the money I can save. It's always good to save money. It's just a domino effect in other ways, but the challenge is for me to learn contentment. I can already tell you, just 2 months in, about 13 days into August, I can already tell you that this challenge is changing me, that I'm crazy, and your normal person is not gonna sign up for something like this. But for me, it's just in a constant world of consumerism. I want to see and I want to know how I feel not having all of these items bookmarked in my iPhone of the things that I want, the things that I'm buying. A normal thing, if you want it, you just buy it. This year for me is just how can I grow spiritually in not being so connected to the things of the world. I don't know. This is just a really intense challenge. Anyways, July was a success and I'm excited to give you guys the August update. For now, I'm kind of figuring out how to do these videos. Last thing that I wanted to always put in these videos is tempting purchases. Something that I was tempted by was buying a new comforter, but the last temptation was 4th of July sales were a little bit tempting. So those were the two most tempting things, is the Rubulettes and the July 4th sales. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm excited about this next month we're in. Anyway, see you in my next video.
Hey friends, I am here in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It is January 3rd. I officially completed 7 months of my no spend. Excuse my voice. I haven't really been sick, but I got this junk going on. But anyways, we are on a friend retreat with some of our friends in the middle of the woods. We rented this gorgeous cabin behind me. I figured what better place to film the end of my no spend. Really been slacking on filming all of the videos like I wanted to do each month. Life just kind of got crazy. Honestly, it was just really hard to find the time to just sit and film and go over each month. So I'm pretty sure that I filmed June and July. August, I did take notes and followed all the rules and everything. I'm just gonna lump August, September, October, and November and December all in just one group. Mostly I just want to reflect on the last 7 months with this challenge. I have decided that I am not going to continue to do a year. I'm going to officially call it quits at 7 months because it was it was really awesome. It was a really great experience. I learned a lot about myself and my spending habits and just some of my quality, but it was very hard. Now I'll explain why in just a few minutes. August, I wrote that I'll try to keep these really quick because there really isn't a lot of notes on these. I don't want to drag them on. For August, I followed all of the rules. This is funny looking back now because it's January and looking at August, that feels like so long ago. These were things that reasoning. So I bought a calculator. All of these things typically are for my daughter. So these were things that were not necessities, but they were experiences for my daughter to be entertained with in the car. Goodies for a road trip. I bought some stickers and things like that. And then I bought some paint. So those were things that were just for Ezra. So I feel like anything I ever really spent was for Ezra. I still followed all of my rules. Temptations were, it has been a harder month. There's a boutique called New Flora. I put scrolling, I'm just scrolling through New Flora, dreaming of their pieces of clothing that I would love. A new blender, but it keeps working. So I really want to spend money at TJ Maxx and Crane in the month of August. I want a new toaster. I want a new plant. I want some grounding shoes. Those are my temptations for August.
September, I followed all of my rules. I did start ordering Ezra some fall clothing in September, which I did factor that in, seasonal clothing. And I put that I caved and got her some toddler jewelry. So I do remember that I bought her a necklace and some earrings. But again, that wasn't breaking my rules. I was allowed to buy for her. I just couldn't buy for myself. But this was me still trying to be reasonable. I did get her a few extra toys. I'm just trying to we don't buy a lot of toys, but if I feel like it's something that can keep her distracted from technology or wanting to watch the TV, to me that feels like a necessity, because it's not a necessity, but there are times where I need her to be distracted, and I don't want technology to do that all the time. Temptations were every fall I typically will buy fall candles and get like a throw blanket, or something that is just kind of makes the house a little more cozy. And I wrote on here in September, feeling cozy and wanting to add some warmth and cozy to my house. And then I wrote cute calendar. I saw like these glass calendars that someone had posted on Instagram. Super aesthetically pleasing, and it was just super cute. Those were the only two things I really wanted that month. Also, I went to go visit my cousin in Kansas City, and my grandma gave me $150. And she actually didn't know I was doing the no spend, but she insisted, you need to spend this. I want you to buy yourself something nice. She's persistent. So I did have $150 to spend that month on whatever I wanted. So to me, that was a gift, and she wanted me to spend it. That's how my grandma she shows us she loves us sometimes. And I didn't feel guilty for that, because that wasn't my money. It wasn't me purchasing something out of weakness. It was my grandmother wanting to bless me, and so I did. I spent that $150. So yeah, that was a little blessing. But October, I don't know if I made it clear in the last videos, but I did take my lashes off. I did get my lashes back on because I was just feeling like, bleh, I really love my lashes. So I have currently had my lashes back on since October. And we also went on our big camping trip, and I did allow myself to buy something at camp. I didn't buy anything at the beach like I allowed myself to do. And then when we went to camp, I didn't buy myself anything at camp. So I bought nothing at camp for myself, but that I had no temptations that month to buy anything. So super win of a month. November, I followed all my rules. Doesn't really look like I had a lot of temptations, and I did good. December, I did good. I bought lots of gifts. That was in my rules, that I could buy gifts, and I did buy gifts for people. We went through a hard chapter in December, a hard season with some stuff. He texted me that he got a $200 gift card and that he wanted me to spend it all myself. I did spend that on honestly, the biggest struggle has been clothes. It's not been horrible, but that's been the hardest, I think, thing in this challenge, is just not buying myself clothing. Like, I realized that. So I did get some new pants, and at this point, I'm not going to say it was a necessity, but I really did need some new clothes. So that $200 was really a blessing. So yeah, that's how it all went. I told my husband that. So before I continue, look how beautiful this is. I mean, I know you can't see like the sun coming through here very well, but it's just so beautiful. Anyways, I think this challenge was really good for me. My goal was to do a year, but I told my husband, I was like, 7 months, like that was really tough, like really tough. And my goal at the beginning of this video was to have this video like ready to go, like just the end of December. I wanted it to be ready, like basically launch it on this day, like post it on about this time, or heck, even like late December. But the more I started thinking, I'm like, this shouldn't be something that we just do at the beginning of the year. Saving money and being content and choosing to be joyful with what we have and finding joy in the little things, that should be something we just cultivate all the time. I really enjoy like extreme challenges like this, so this was a fun thing for me to do. But it was also it sounds silly to say this because we're so blessed in our American culture. Like, me and my husband were talking about this the other day. Like, if we are craving something, we can go to a restaurant and get it made for us at a table at a restaurant. Like, we don't even really have to cook it. We are just so blessed in our culture. Like, the fact that I even have the option to do a no spend challenge in itself is just such a huge blessing. It's a privilege, we're very privileged in our culture. There's people that are just hoping that they get fed at their next meal, so the fact that I could even do a 7-month challenge like this is really just a blessing. This challenge was hard, and it makes me kind of sad that it was that hard, because we live in consumption culture. We're always trying to be sold the next thing. We just don't get to practice contentment very much. So I think this challenge taught me that just because I have an impulse desire to buy this outfit or go shopping or whatever, telling my flesh no and forcing myself to practice contentment. I think that was the hardest thing. I think it was living without certain things. I think it was just learning to tell myself no. I don't need that. I can wash these pants, or I can wear this shirt again. Things that are really tough to work through sometimes. And it's sad because it shouldn't be that way, but that's just our culture. They are always constantly trying to get you to buy the next thing, get rid of it, donate it, or on to the next thing. It's very rare to practice contentment. So I think that the greatest thing that this challenge taught me was practicing contentment, and finding joy not in things, but it was very hard. There's days where we were going to dinner or something, and I was like, I just really want a new outfit, and I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna wear what I have, or I'm gonna borrow from someone. I'm not saying that I believe I could do it for the year. I truly do. But I think I'm just done. It's not because I want to just go blow money. This challenge is going forward. I really had to think about, what is this going to look like now going into January? It's something I want to reflect on this trip, being more on a budget with my spending, or I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm not going back to the way that I was, because I started this challenge originally because I was frustrated with myself. Anything I wanted, I was like, I'm just gonna go buy it, or I rarely would tell myself no on certain things. So I started this challenge out of frustration with myself and with just kind of being fed up with consumption culture. So I keep hearing something in the woods. I think it's a squirrel. Anyways, I started this challenge just being fed up with consumption culture and constantly just feeling like I'm buying these things and my emotions are coming up short. I'm not happy. I'm spending money and there's no joy there. It's great for a minute and then I'm over it and I'm discontent again. So I think the biggest thing I learned from this challenge was just being thankful for what I do have. It's really nice, actually, not just scrolling on my phone 24/7. That was something that was a really bad habit, was having access to online shopping. You just scroll and scroll because, I had a conversation with a friend and we were like, remember the good old days where you used to just if you wanted to buy something, you went to the store and had to shop and buy it in the store, and now we sit at home in our beds and just scroll and scroll and scroll for clothing and gadgets or whatever. So honestly, I didn't do much of that for 7 months because it was just, for one, I couldn't buy anything, but it was just I kind of just lost that desire. So I hope I go into this new year just feeling not the urge to just scroll on my phone and shop 24/7 the rut I was in before I started this challenge. I would say one of my biggest takeaways as well is just not feeling like I constantly need to buy, constantly need to spend. If I feel myself feeling that urge to click buy, I need to spend money, I need to get that dopamine hit, I stop, reflect, think about where those emotions are coming from. And if it's something that I genuinely want, that's a little different. I'm not buying out of impulse or discontentment. I'm actually buying it because it's something that I want. I think I'm done unless I turn this video off and decide that I want to keep going. But I do think I got what I needed. I learned what I needed in the 7 months. It was very challenging, but my best advice would be for anyone watching this is don't wait till January to do something. Start just identifying things in yourself that are making you feel gross is the best way to put it, like overspending or overeating or, whatever that looks like, eating too much sugar or not taking care of your body, wherever you feel like you're in bondage or you're a slave to something. To me, start immediately. Don't wait till January to start a new challenge or to change your habits. That's why I really enjoyed starting in June, because it was just different. So I guess that's why I didn't have such urgency to put this video out there on January 1st, even though I know everyone's doing, or a lot of people are doing, no spend years and trying to budget intensely come January. But typically by April or May, they're back to their normal habits. So my best advice would be start now. If you're fed up with something or frustrated with something, just start. Just stop. Just reflect. Just sit in those emotions and find the root cause of them. Why am I overspending? Why am I overeating? There's a root cause, and it could be from how you were raised. It could be an emotion you're trying to suppress, whatever that looks like. Just choose to do something hard. This challenge, for some people, it might have been really easy, because I know a lot of people who are very frugal and they just don't spend a lot of money, but that wasn't me. I'm a saver and make good financial decisions in a lot of other ways, but my spending habits could be really sloppy, rooting from me just kind of being discontent with certain things, or feeling like I had to buy because I was being marketed it on Instagram or whatever. So start now. Don't start tomorrow or next week or next year or next January. Just start now. Also, find someone to help you stay accountable in whatever that looks like. Someone that you trust and someone that loves you and wants you to be at your best. Anyways, I just want to thank you for clicking on this video and following along with me on this journey. A super fun challenge, and I encourage you, if you are looking to do something like this, it is very empowering, and it's will make you a better person. So talk to you later. Bye. Happy New Year.